Whew, tough day, tough day. Well, breakups are never easy. And I didn't think this transition was going to actually be that easy. Turns out it is. Lori Clark Viviano is here this morning to talk about what happens when your marriage breaks up and maybe how to lessen some of the stress from that. And she brought Cole Casey, one of her favorite clients, here today to talk about maybe mediation as opposed to everybody lawyering up and skipping straight to the putting the gloves on and going after each other.
Although he's an attorney, so he did put the gloves on. And I didn't represent him. I actually was representing his ex-wife.
Well, but I say one of your favorite clients because,
he is.
I mean, because of the way that you approach these things, you don't go into these situations trying to work people up. You go into the situations trying to calm people down.
Well, I would say that's true. Cole, what was your experience?
It was pleasant at first, as probably most divorces do. It started off contentious. But as time went on, it became abundantly clear that the best path for all of us was to just sit down and work this out. And Lori, although she was representing technically my opponent, she and I managed to just kind of put our heads together and work the thing out together, and it worked out for everybody.
So overall, I mean, your advice then would be try mediation first?
Yeah,
I mean, you can always take it up a notch?
You can always take it, that's a good way of putting it. You can always take it up a notch, but I think what Cole did, which is why we became friends afterwards, he never forgot for a minute the most important thing was his children. Never forgot that, and he always kept that in the forefront, which I think is huge. If you can kind of remember that and realize this is the mother of your children or this is the father of your children, I think that helps.
Well, yeah, it does. And, you know, it's a sad situation no matter how it works out, but the kids didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
It's not their fault. And so as long as you don't put them in the middle of a big battle and make them feel guilty all the time and try to make them choose sides and just say, I have to be bigger than that. I have to step aside from that and say, all right, what's actually the best outcome here? And then hopefully you have somebody that's reasonable or being represented by someone that's reasonable on the other side.
Well, let me talk about this because it's kind of interesting in that you are also an attorney, and we're looking at a courtroom scene here. I mean, we're looking at people in handcuffs.
Usually what he deals with, not what I deal with.
We're not talking about a mediation or a divorce proceeding there, but what you deal with is DUI. And on a related note here, you say, boy, when it comes down to custody and mediation or being in court, the person with the DUI on their record is at a serious disadvantage, aren't they?
Big time, yeah. We see cases where we have people that are involved in custody battles that are self-medicating, maybe more than they normally would,
right.
And even in some situations are getting arrested with the children in the car. And you can imagine how that plays out in a divorce court.
And certainly, you know, in the heat of the moment, nothing seems quite as black and white, and yet when you're in a courtroom standing in front of a judge, suddenly it becomes very clinical, very black and white, and
yes.
And the judge just says, well, I hear there's a story here, however, here's what the law says, here's what you did.
Yeah, but here's the other side of the coin. I've referred people that have gotten DUIs while I'm in the middle of a custody battle, and he's done great, because we've talked about this before. It's important for me to have the experts, the right people in the case, and although I don't want my clients to get a DUI, sometimes that is what happens, and so I call up Cole.
Oh, man. Oh, Cole, need you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, Cole, this one I need you to jump on. I need this to get resolved because I don't want this to have, because like you said, and I think that's so true, maybe this isn't someone that's an alcoholic,
right.
Made a bad decision.
And during a very, very, very difficult time, as you say, maybe inappropriately self-medicating.
Correct.
That type of thing. And again, while we can all understand that, we can't justify it, we can't condone it. So
right.
you got to deal with it at
because
that point.
It's a safety issue, but he's done like a great job.
Well, and again, the long-term ramifications of being in that situation, I don't think a lot of people, when they're planning to go out for the evening, even think about that. But you may be dealing with a security clearance, you may be dealing with a professional license, medical, legal license, and you may be engaged in some sort of a custody battle. And none of that seems to enter anybody's consciousness until they're sitting in the jail cell saying,
right.
You know, oh my God, what have I done?
Well, my old joke is the first brain cells to get drunk are the ones that remember a hangover. So so to extend that a little bit further, I mean, the first brain cells to get drunk are the ones that would, think about reasonable arguments against doing what you're in the process of doing.
Okay, Cole, give us 4 tips for Memorial Day weekend to have fun and not get in trouble.
Plan ahead.
Good, I like it.
Use your iPhones or your cellular phones there are companies now out there. I use Uber, which is where you touch your iPhone, a town car shows up, take you wherever you want to go. Take it easy. You don't have to be that guy, life of the party. I don't know that I can give you 4 tips, but that's really easy. Just plan ahead. Nobody sets out to get a DUI. That's not a premeditated type issue.
All right. Before we let you go here, Lori, I want to let everybody know a couple of offices to serve folks now.
And he's next door to me.
And, yeah. Okay, so he's close by.
Right down the block.
Just send down the block.
But certainly, if you find yourself in a difficult situation, folks, think of Cole and think of Lori Clark Viviano here, and call them sooner rather than later. That's probably the best advice that we can give you. If you're in a tough situation, whether it's your marriage or a DUI, that type, call them early in that process, as early as you possibly can. It really does help.
Well, and I had someone call me, and I called him on a weekend, and he dealt with it immediately, because people will say or do the wrong things, and we can't unring the bell.
Right.
So please let us know, and I will get a hold of him.
Yeah,
get out in front of it.
Lori Clark Viviano, Cole Casey, great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.